Hello everyone and welcome to Southron Bannermen episode 18. I am your host for this evening, Ben, and I'm joined by regular co-host Joe.
Hello.
And joining us after a knackery weekend running the European Championship, we have Liam Hall.
Alright, my babber.
That's good West Country accent. I like that.
That's a good impression.
You may also know Liam from the YouTube channel, The Gaming Hall. Which
I don't think many people watch it.
Well, say it's worth watching at the moment. Euros coverage. So, how is everyone post Euros?
I am still so very, very tired. Didn't get much sleep during Euros.
No.
And I have a teething baby, so I'm having even less sleep now. I do genuinely feel like a zombie at the moment.
I did enjoy, and anyone out there who's got kids will understand this. A weekend away from the family, I was like, yes, I got some Lions. Still got up at 6 o'clock every day.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I can have a relax. Yeah. And then when you're staying, working with some of the Dutch and the Danes and whatnot, there were no early nights. And then when you realise you've got to be up at 6 o'clock to get into the hall for 7, half 7, make sure everything's all set up. It didn't quite go according to plan in terms of having a bit of a relax in the evening.
No, I can see that. But yeah, Euros. That's a thing. I did enjoy winding up Dave today, by the way, because he finished 17th at the melee, and he forgot to bring his playmat over, so I put down the dragon playmat in front of him.
Oh, so did you actually manage to get one then?
Yeah, I came 8th. I also got a gloss. I thought I was going to come 9th. I was really disappointed, and I thought, no, not the gloss house card for the Night's Watch, but I just got it.
I think it's a bit sad for the
very nice
few people who didn't get the playmats. It was only 3 out of the 19, wasn't it?
Yeah. 4, I think, was it? I think there were 20 in the end.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think a couple of extra people jumped in the last 2 rounds. I would have found it hilarious if Catherine had jumped in at round 3 and managed to get a playmat.
Alex jumped in at round 3 and got a playmat.
Because he won the table.
Yeah. And I thought David got a playmat because I counted from the bottom. When he had 19 players, Davey got a playmat, and then I realised, oh no, there's one more. Davey 17th, mate, you've just missed out.
Yeah, he just missed getting R1.
And Ryan?
Hello.
And introducing other regular co-host, Ryan. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Regular's a strong word.
Well, at least my internet allowed me on this time. Yeah, you get a special guest.
So Ryan, I was just talking about our post-Euro feelings, as in tiredness and getting back to normal life.
Yeah, I was glad I took the Monday off. I was pretty sleepy.
Yeah.
It was a long weekend.
Yeah.
See, I ended up taking the Monday off work because randomly I pulled my shoulder over the weekend. And I didn't feel it till Monday morning. I was just driving and all of a sudden went, yeah, I can't move this arm anymore.
Is it just repetitive kneel in the Winterfell?
See, I don't work Mondays. Who's winning now?
I just did a half day.
The repetitive meaning of, yeah. Well, it's supposed to get a card, isn't it, Joe? So, have we gone over the structure on this episode? Being really professional tonight.
Nope.
So, Joe, what are we talking about?
I think I'm talking about Euros, as you might have guessed. That is mostly it.
It's the only thing that matters, Joe. Come on, where's your enthusiasm? Euros, woo!
I had my enthusiasm last week.
So I forgot to check our year of predictions, but who got Stark in 4th correct?
Most of us.
No, you didn't. I'm sure you didn't think
Stark was 4th.
Did it? Did I say Stark was going to be 3rd?
I think you did. I think you were on the Stark train.
I was close. Who predicted Lanny? Was it Lanny number 1 at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I went Targ, Tyrell, Lanny.
By faction, it was Lanny. Yeah, the most popular deck was still Targ Filthy, though, right?
I think followed by Stark Filthy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because pretty much every Stark player was Filthy, because Stark.
So much Stark and Targ.
Yeah, Targ Filthy, Stark Filthy, then Lanny Reigns, then Tyrell Crossing.
Now,
All of the obvious ones.
peering behind the curtain a little bit here. Obviously, it's myself, Liam, and Rebecca have been having a few conversations about editing videos. You know it's bad when we have a celebration of I got to edit video and there was no Targ player in it. Because pretty much every video has at least one Targ matchup, one Targ in there. It's
Yeah, round 2 for me was a Targ mirror match. Round 1 was the Night's Watch Targ. I think I get Martel Tyrell next round.
whoa.
I'm actually excited.
I think I looked back at my games, and I think I only played 4 factions across the whole day, all which were the top 4. I didn't play anything else.
No, I played 3 Night's Watch randomly,
Yeah,
and they're all different as well, which is cool. But yeah, otherwise Targ, Lanny, and Stark were other ones. Oh, no, Tyrell.
4 games against Targ, 2 games against Tyrell,
Bloody hell. I hate mirror matches as well.
2 against Stark.
Yeah,
I
you
usually
try
like
harder
mirror
with
match.
Targ though, Jay, so I have no sympathy for you on that one.
It's Euros. I think that is the perfect time to play your good deck.
Nah, that's when you take the joke deck. It's all about games like it.
And the funny thing is, I actually really like the Targ mirror match. That's usually the one I'm very comfortable to win. The only one I lost was against Evan, and that's I don't feel bad about losing to Evan.
No, he's pretty damn good.
And I know exactly what I did wrong in the game as well, which was recorded, I think, by Liam.
Yep.
I also lost to Evan, and there's nothing I could have done about it because he crown of golded my jury first turn to take away all my saves. I was like, yep, I'm buggered now. But yeah, how do we want to break this down? Liam, how was running Euros? I guess that's where we should start.
Really good, actually. I suppose it's all in the beginning bit. So trying to get everything set up. So I rocked up on the Thursday to help set the hall up. Think it actually looked all right in the end. You know,
Yeah,
since what it started as a plain open hall. You know, really chuffed with how it looked, and then getting everyone all registered. It was always going to be an interesting one. So most of the judges turned up. We finished about 10:30. Went for some food, and I'm outside the hotel drinking home-brewed Danish mead with all the Danish judges out of a horn outside the Genting Arena, as all these hundreds of middle-aged women come out of a Take That concert. It was rather surreal. And then hooking up with Ruben and Remco, the other 2 judges, for some games and some relaxing. We had a slight delay on Friday because of the security. So yeah, I know we've had some feedback on it and stuff, but you know, it is what it is. It was done as an overall because some of the areas were a bit behind. Some of the bag searches, particularly for X-Wing and Armada players, was taking its time, and they really did not have enough people on the ticket booth. At one point, we went out and there was about 300 people there, all queued up. And there was about 2 people on the ticket booth.
I was very confused what was going on with the bag searches, because the entrance to the main hall, they had the 2 guys, and there was a big queue of people, and then other people just walking past them, and like I saw some like players. I think I saw like some of the Reading guys in the queue, and we were just like,
you know the Brits like a good queue, you know.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I was like, are we meant to be in that queue? Do we just go in? Just like most of the time, yeah, just walk into the hall.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of communications from NEC. So I mean, we did the delay, and then went from there. But I think after the delay, I think we were working really well. I think it went really smoothly. The fact that we were able to have Jousting Pavilion because home encountered technical difficulties
as usual
when we were sorting stuff out.
Now, Liam, when you say technical difficulties, did you type tome into your browser and couldn't find the enter button? Was that the technical difficulty?
The official word is tome encountered technical difficulties, and there's no air quotes going on either. But you know, I mean, JP is it's a fantastic tool. As particularly something like that, because I think one of my big bugbears was trying to get around on a Saturday and having to barge through 200 Destiny players queuing over one pairings, man. It's like, come on, just stop blocking the hole. JP just gets rid of all of that because, you know, cool, pairings are up.
Check your phone.
We'll do some pictures for some of those who haven't got their phones or whatnot, or a bit technically challenged. But no, I think it made it so much easier. I suppose the one bit when everyone got a little bit too ahead of themselves, when we had to pair it, and then someone decided to drop. We had to change someone around because it gone wrong, and everyone sat down and was like, no, sit down again.
Yeah. No, the other thing, you do realise how lucky we are compared to the other systems when you see, as you say, like Destiny and Netrunner and all that, all have to herd around these small little sheets. We just literally go, sometimes before you guys even set all the rounds up, we had it on our phone anyway. Yeah,
and I don't know who it is, but credit whichever one of the people in the community put it together, but it's fantastic. A couple of little bits we wouldn't mind doing, so the option to actually do a graduated cut without having to go through on a Saturday morning and manually drop 100 players was riveting. Particularly when you have to go into edit and everybody's only in alphabetical order and you can't sort them by score order.
Ryan, you're part of the editing for that, or admin for that. Any idea?
Yeah, if you email Petter Nystrom, he might be able to sort it out for you. It might even be already on there as some hidden feature somewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, I mean, it just made it easy. And the fact of there was some very cautious half-hour gaps in between each round for admin and whatnot. And I know when you get to some of the other systems where it needs a bit more time, it just quickened it up. And the fact that we had myself and Ruben had the old walkie-talkies, looking like a couple of dodgy doormen. But when time was called, Ruben was able to just hang around the tables, stop. Letting us know the results and we can enter in. So I think our average time in between end of last result and pairings was just a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
just because you had to move some tables around just to make sure we kept Liam on the same table.
No, you say you guys on that front, I say from our point of view, did really well, especially when you hear about like the 3-hour delay X-Wing had.
Yeah, I mean, I know the guys who are working on it, and it was just one of those things of a couple of bits just went wrong, but altogether it just made it really hard. And trying to have to manually re-enter 350 players, plus manually do a round, plus manually enter 350 people's worth of results.
Yeah.
But once they got it sorted, it worked fine. And I think from an overall perspective, we had some of the best judges around. When you can compare it to Wales, it would have been nice if we had a couple of devs along. But, we had Don from Poland, who's one of the Fracas guys. We have Remco, who's does Dockside and part of the Stalak team, and then Ruben as well. So, a lot of experience and knowledge from the Throne judging team, which made it really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it went hunky dory till top 16.
Yeah. No controversy at all in the top 16.
There's no controversy. I said a clear time, 2:45, 3 o'clock start. 14 other people turned up, plus 30 odd spectators, and our streamer.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing you had. There was 40 of us there, at least 40 of us waiting for the time to start. If you rock up half an hour late, well, and you did quite a few announcements as well.
Yeah. But as I said to them, so look, sorry if you feel that it's gone against you or not, but it is what it is. And we went out afterwards, and I stuck the feedback threads. We got a whole host of feedback, some good, some bad, but I mean, it was all constructive, which is nice. Stuff you can actually work for, and that's all gonna go and feedback, so we can make sure that it's bigger and better next year. Alex has got some good plans. I think he articulated it very well when he did the announcement.
Yeah.
It very much makes sense to be back at Expo next year, so we can work on the kinks that happen, make it better, so that it's all in a stable condition, so that it can start moving around Europe.
That's the thing. I know some people are annoyed that's in the UK again, but I think it makes sense to make sure the event is running smoothly and is well organised before trying to improve it and change and have a completely new venue.
Yeah, and the thing people seem to forget as well is that Alex's team is responsible for these premier events in Europe, and his team's only about 5 or 6 people. And four of those are UK based.
Yeah. So it makes sense to do it in the UK for the first couple, because that's where they are. There's no language barrier. There's no issues that can arise from it being another country.
Well, it just made plenty of sense for it to be Expo, the first one, because every year they already run regionals. All you've got to do is just scale up the size of what you're doing. And then the fact that they've got a 2-year deal, and that explains why it's there next year. Like, that's what Expo wanted when.
Yeah, and the fact they said they actually wanted it to be longer than 2 years, and he went, no, 2 years, then we'll see.
And the fact that what Alex managed to do was in the space of 6 months, know.
Yeah.
I don't know many other companies or individuals who can put something like that on at the scale of it in just 6 months.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
With a limited team, so he's got some bloody good ideas. He's really committed to it, and I'm actually looking forward to the next couple of years with it.
Yeah.
If they'll have me back.
No, I'm afraid of him. Sorry.
But, from an organiser perspective, I think it went really well. I mean, the community I already knew was really good in the UK. I've made a lot of friends out of running Thrones events and playing in them as well. Being able to expand and make a load of friends in the Europe scene, which now seems me going on a European tour over the next 6 months.
Yeah, I do need to hit some of the European-based Starlack events at some point next year.
I think I have signed myself up to go flea bottom as well now.
Isn't that just a big weekend-long piss-up with some friends?
Essentially. I am going on my own.
Gabby, I'm going with my wife and 1-year-old. What could possibly go wrong? So yeah, I've got permission for that. Going to be doing Blackwater as well as all the Million and One regionals, and then Starlek and Dockside next year.
Oh, cool!
So it's all action packed. Yep. Yeah, no one cares about all the organiser things. So how did you scrubs do?
Not too bad.
Mixed bag.
I did enjoy the fact that Joe had to play myself and Ryan in round 2 and 3.
I tell you what, when I saw the pairing of Joe and Ryan, I genuinely did piss myself.
It happens every single fucking tournament.
And then when I saw Joe get paired up against you following round, Ben, I pissed myself again.
Yeah, it happens. But no, I say it was. I enjoyed it. I'm sure I might have told these guys I was absolutely pissing myself with my deck because it's something I'd actually built myself, and I didn't have anything to blame except myself if it went wrong. And fortunately, it didn't go too wrong.
Yeah, I'm still calling BS. That's your own.
Well, it's not your standard Stark Fealty, is it? It's the Stark Fealty. Your opponent's not allowed any fun. It's not the. I know you built something similar a while ago.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure I sent this list.
You never sent me the list. I promise you. I know we discussed it, but you never sent it.
I had a double bar in the Gates Stark list, which was called something very similar.
See, I never saw your plots. I know we talked about going. Honestly, I know we talked about like 3 Nightmares, 3 Milks, Winterfell. I know, and that was like that was kind of the core of the deck. But yeah, honestly, it's not. I didn't base it off anything else I'd seen. I just took an idea and went with it. But yeah, no, I mean double bar in Gates. It's a good call. Just unfortunately meant I couldn't practice on the stream because I think if I've got double bar in the Gates, then you're going to play around it differently, and I didn't want people to know. Not that I'm that famous.
You can tell you're a Barra player going for the MPE style decks.
MPE? Whoa, it's not MPE.
The game with you was the only one I went into all day. Like I didn't even sign it off against Ryan, but yours was someone I was like, I probably lost this because I knew what your deck was doing.
Yeah,
and knew it stopped mine. The fact I got as far as I did.
Oh god, I was bricking myself after that start. I was like, yeah, this is easier than all. I think after your Valor, I had just a bad draw for a turn, and you kind of got back into it. I was like, ah, shit, I'm going to lose this now after that start. But then fortunately, I just I can't remember exactly how, but I closed it out.
You top decked Jon Snow at exactly the
right
moment.
That was it, yes. Jon Snow, the right moment, that was it. Sacrifice someone, everyone stands. Good game, Irene. But yeah, Yeah, I say. It did well. Unfortunately, I took it to beat Targ, and I was 2-1 against Targ, 1-2 against Targ, and that did cost me a place in the cut. But it happens. I was happy with 19th.
You know, it was a good show from you, man. As much as I was taking the piss out of you lot, I was actually rooting for you, honestly.
Well, it's Joe and Evan's fault. If they'd won the last round, I think I'd have made the cut.
Oh, there's a lot of things with the cut.
No,
sadly.
I say this thing. I'm only joking. You know, it's one of those things. If you're on the bubble, you can't complain if your strength of schedule goes against you.
Yeah, because you were 6-3 in the end, weren't you?
I was. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we sat down to talk about the scheduling, and this is one of the other bits of feedback we had as judges, so we can actually try and get this sorted out a lot sooner and communicate at least a week beforehand. So we're going to try and have a bit of a judges get together and get it all publicised. Is that we started running the numbers and how we were dictated to have it, because of the level of event it is. It has to mirror what Gen Con is, and Gen Con was going to be a top 16, and FFG aren't going to change Gen Con. So we had to stick with a top 16. Well, just doing all the Swiss in one day wouldn't have worked.
No.
Just doing a top 16 the following day wouldn't have worked. So we actually ran the numbers, and if we did six on the Friday, that would give us exactly 1/3 of the field, which for the 1/3 prize made it really easy, as god awful as they were.
That's the only.
I don't rag on some of the stuff too much, but when I saw them, I was like, you look like you've given a 3-year-old a Tipex pen and a laser cutter.
Yep. As I say, it's the only thing of the whole weekend, of all the prizes, even the stuff I wasn't sure about, like the medals, actually were quite nice when I saw them in the flesh. Everything else was great, just those tokens were a bit.
I'm glad I got my Token Mania ones.
Same here. They're so much better.
But yeah, so we opted for the graduated cut, because one of the things I was conscious of is that you don't want people to completely scrub out in day one, like everybody. Because if they signed up for 2 or 3 days, but at the same time you can't have everybody going into day 2, and those that do, you want to try and give them as many games as possible. So we run it so that if you did make day 2, you're at least getting 9 games, you know, which is a good return on your ticket investment. And then those that didn't can come back and do draft and do some of the side events.
Cool.
And then what that ended up meaning it was that all of the 7 and 2s and up made it in. Which is the right thing.
Yep.
You know, top 8 would have actually made it. I think if we'd have done an extra round and done top 8, then you'd be splitting most of the 8 and 2s.
Yeah, no. I think it had to at least be top 16. Yeah.
So as it was, I think it was only 2 or 3. 6 and 3s, and to be fair, if you're going for a top 16 on 156 player, you're not really going to be banking on making the cut on a 6 and 3 record.
No, you know that you got 2 losses and that's it. Then the rest has to be wins. Joe, how was your tournament?
I kind of went into it like, even though I was playing Dark Fury, I switched up my deck a few days before because I was getting fed up with my dockside deck and every single person opening Barris's Riddle against me and having no answer to that.
Was that with Summer Harvest?
No, just all my plots were when revealed, so heads and spikes, counting coppers. There was no plot I could open which worked out well if I start
got
with
it.
So I switched up my deck and wasn't 100% sure how it would go. But yeah, so having round 1 against a sort of newer player was a kind of comfortable start to the day. Then having a break and going, oh look, it's Ryan. this sets the tone for the rest of the day.
To be fair, I was half dead, so you were alright.
Yeah, that was really freaky when you got that migraine over lunch.
Yeah, it basically ruined my tournament, to be honest. I couldn't focus for the next sort of 4 or 5 hours, so that was the joust over for me.
Yeah, not a good time to get it. And it was weird when you started not being able to see properly. That was a bit. Just what I remember, I was talking about first round opponents. Leicester was playing James Parson in the first round, and he was so nervous. We flipped setup, and then he went he didn't even went to draw up his deck. He then went to flip the first plot. And I was like, James. So it's like, and it took him a while. I went, James, you need to draw up. He went, what? I went, you're flipping plot. We haven't even picked. You haven't even seen what cards you got yet, buddy. I was like, oh yeah, bless him. But he calmed down after that. He said it was his first big anything bigger than store champ he'd been to.
Yeah, my first round opponent was similar because with the sort of like time for it to start, we were chatting quite a bit beforehand, so it made it quite chilled when we did actually play. It's a sort of nice start to the day. Yeah, but overall tournament, played quite a few people I knew or names I recognised. I'm looking at it now. I didn't play anyone outside of England, I don't think. Evans, the only one you could even maybe count that way. Everyone was English.
Not sure Evan counts as English.
Yeah, but he's British or UK meta. However you want to put it. But there was I didn't play any travellers. But so yeah, I went 5-1 on the first day. Went into the second day pretty confident. Had 2 Targ mirrors in a row, and eventually had two mod losses, and came 18th.
And I managed to come 19th so just behind Joe. Do you think that the mod losses affected you?
Yeah, because it would have screwed his strength of schedule.
I looked. The only one that I feel like did matter, obviously, was Guillen because he dropped out. But going by the fact that he did get a win against that. Florian, who was above me, had also played him, so he would have tweaked his strength of schedule in the same way. So I don't think there was any. Evans, the only one where it might have pushed me up.
Yeah. But Evan only got a mod win against you.
Yes,
Damn
I got told off for discussing the idea of whether I should concede or not at the end by Alec. Because this was the first big tournament, and I haven't timed.
You colluding?
I discussed
you
what happened.
Little sod. I'd have DQ'd your ass if I'd have heard that.
I asked a hypothetical question of what would you do in this scenario, and then obviously still did the mod win. But everyone has these weird opinions on what you're meant to do. I was talking with American earlier, where it's over there, it's considered you concede. There's no thought about it. You don't do mod wins.
In America, you can basically concede after time scored, can't you?
Yeah, but this is the first time in quite a while, or the first important game I've had where it went to time, and I was like, I don't know what the general etiquette is for this. But because it was a big important game, so I went, yeah, obviously it has to be a mod win. Don't screw anyone else out who did actually earn the points.
Yeah, because in that situation, when it affects the cut. I mean, we did have a very good bit of sportsmanship when we were in the top 8.
Yeah.
So myself and Ruben had a specific discussion before the event of missing Winter Festival and going to Dom. So if you go to Dom and you forget to get your 2 power from Winter Festival, basically tough. It's a mistrigger. And so it happened, the time had been called, they went to do it, guy went straight to Dom, and then was like, oh, can I claim my Winter Festival? And the guy's like, well, you've missed it, I'm not sure, can you? And so he basically said, well, it's a mistrigger, so no. Then they were tied on points. And then he went to deck check, and the guy's like, oh, I'm not having you lose like this, so he just conceded in the cup.
It's fair.
The guy looked ruined as well.
He was, I think most of us would be if we made that monumental mistake. And I think at that point there was about 30 odd people crowded around watching. But no, it was interesting just how things you think are quite simple that a lot of people say. We had a lot of questions about Marriage Pact, the amount of people that got caught out by Marriage Pact and Valor.
Yeah, there's even on one of my videos, there's a big discussion about that between the opponents and how it works.
Yeah, and there were a couple of people got caught out with dupes and ward. So I know in one game someone warded Wedge's cat, and it was duped. So Wedge flipped Valor, and the guy's like, "Okay, I'll save cat," and the guy's and Wedge is like, "No, you're not. I get to choose. I'm not saving cat. Screw you."
Yeah, I didn't have any.
I was going to say, just for anyone who doesn't know, so what is the exact ruling on it?
On what?
Marriage Pact and Valor.
So when you when you do the sacrifice for Marriage Pact, it happens because you interrupt before the killing. You sacrificed before everybody dies. Mm-hmm. So by sacrificing it, they've not been killed. So you save the character you end up having to sacrifice. You end up saving.
It's basically the same as jury's interrupts, isn't it?
Yes.
Except obviously you're not saving the character, you're just sacrificing them rather than killing them.
Yeah, saving in the sense of it's not going to die; it's just going to get discarded.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. So I know there's a few that have gone. It seems a few people getting that one wrong that I saw during the day as well.
No, it was quite nice.
Yeah.
And I think there's one with an Italian card who tried to Winterfell a forced reaction. It's like, nah, mate, nah. A forced reaction is a game mechanic. It's not a player ability. So don't try that one.
Oh yeah, I've had people try that one before as well.
Oh, the things that happened with Winterfell. The day where I got overruled by a judge who was saying that because he couldn't find anything in the rule book which said it didn't stop keywords.
Yes, I remember you ranting about that.
It's like, well, it says that character abilities, and it says it stops abilities. So it's like, but that's not how it works. Why won't you listen to me?
Well, you know, judges can get some rules wrong.
That's a pretty hefty one, even when shown an FAQ. I know how it works.
But yeah, I can attest. It is easy. It is easy to get them wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I had one judge call the weekend which I got wrong, and that was Catherine's in the top 16. So yeah. I think I've looked back on the footage. I don't think it costed the game. And my God, was I beating myself up on that one? But rightly so, to be fair. She went to Plaza of Pride to stand Jogo, but played the Rose Road. And then because I was still dealing with the whole top 16 DQ shenanigans, got called over because I was the one right next to them, and then called that it stood, which is a stupid decision because it was an illegal board state, so it should have actually gone back. But yeah, I can contest when you're dealing with a million and one things, and you know you've done 40 hours in the space of 3 days. It can be quite easy to make the wrong decision. But you know, I held my hand up and apologised for it.
As I say, it's all you can do at that point, unfortunately. But yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some stories from US nationals about bad rulings and how people handled it. Eva?
Yeah, they got thrown off stream for Catan.
Yeah, US nationals get thrown off stream for Catan. That was quite funny. And then, did you hear about what everyone was doing on Twitter? No, Twitter, Twitch.
No.
They were just discussing to Catan like it was Thrones.
Oh God!
So you have all these comments.
Exactly take the piss too much, you know, because we got kicked off stream by Chocolate Router.
Yes, yeah, that's the one criticism for next year. If we could be ever so slightly closer to the router.
It's not so much that; it's just the NEC infrastructure. I think we'll better place the hard lines and stuff. So I mean, even we were right next to the router because we had a separate one for the admin stuff. And I just got so fed up, I was just tethering the laptop to my mobile. and running JP off of my tablet and only using the laptop when we needed to print.
It's fair. I mean, I would say it's not that big a deal, but I did buy an internet cable because I was told it would all be hardwired.
We thought it was, in fairness.
Nah, it's fine. I'm sure I'll use it at some other points. But yeah, also, what do we have? 3 times more than US nationals?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not that it's a competition, but it's
a biggest UK event at this point, even though it's not technically a UK event.
Yeah.
No, and just to stay politically biased, hashtag not my Starlek.
What was it? We had the team tournament, Ryan, which you took part in.
Yes, on Sunday, same time as the melee. So this is something that they've been running at Starlek for the last few years. The Greek Meta organise it. Mostly George, I think, is the guy who's in charge.
Seems to be their bag.
Yeah. So how it usually works at Starlek is it's the best 3 players from the joust are asked to be in the country's team. And if anybody doesn't want to play, they go to the 4th, the 5th, etc. And the way it works is it's double elimination. So if you lose to 2 countries, you're knocked out. And when you get paired up with a country, whichever country was the highest average standing in the Swiss gets to pick the first matchup. So you put everyone's house cards down, and you could go, oh, well, that guy's playing Night's Watch. I'll match up the Tard player with him. Then the other team chooses a second match, and then the third matchup is just decided. And yeah, you do a best of 3 and double elim. And yeah, it's really good fun. This person will obviously run it outside of Starlek. I think their plan is to run it at Starlek and the European Championships both now, so that the winner of each one gets a buy at the next one. So the winner for this one gets buys at Starlek, and the winner of Starlek will get buys for the European Championship.
Okay.
Well, that means you have to play with Darren again.
Yes. So as well as the country teams, they also have a Brotherhood About Banners team, which is anybody who doesn't have a full set of... So if there's one Hungarian guy, for example, and wants to form a team, he can find another guy to help him, and they group up together, have a mixed team. So I ended up playing with Tomas Albeck and Darren Hazelden on a team. They were both looking to recruit for Wales and Hungary.
The whole team things were nonsense. I was on Tamas's team briefly the night before. I think it was me. The original team that I signed up for was me, Tamas, and Louise. Then at dinner,
that'd been good too.
I was sat there and Remco text Louise going, "Oh, like, why aren't you playing the melee?"
Remco when he sent the text.
Then suddenly I watched the comment going, "Here's our Brotherhood Without Banners team go to. We need one more." So,
that was a Saturday night, wasn't it?
Yeah. So then I was I was unsure whether I wanted to play on the Brotherhood team anyway. So I decided to do the melee.
I did love how some of the teams were changing. Like Darren trying to recruit for Team Wales. How it went to me, I've got Joe and I've got James, and then about an hour later was like, well, Joe's trying to recruit. I think Joe's trying to recruit people for another team, so I've just kicked him. And James seems to have gone to Team England now, so I'm back to no one. Do you know anyone?
It wasn't even the Team England as far properly on day one, as far as I could see.
But the first one, he went, do you want to be part of Team Wales? I'm like, what's the requirement? When you need to know a Welshman. I went, Darren, I don't want to admit I know you, so I'm alright.
That was sadly my issue. I ultimately kind of wanted to just be on Team England, even just by name.
But so was it 5 teams in the end, Ryan?
Yeah, because a lot of people had already gone home. A lot of the European community had already gone home.
Yeah, it did seem like a lot.
Flights on Sunday morning and stuff. Even the melee, it was mostly English players, right?
Yes.
Basically us and Louise.
I don't think the French Meta were too happy when I posted up the picture of the glass trophy.
Well, especially because in the Joust trophy didn't turn up. Come to the melee. That's the one thing. So prize pot was great, by the tokens already talked about. But it did make me laugh that we had 16 playmats for the melee and only 8 for the Joust. That is seems a bit daft. Not that I'm complaining.
Yeah.
But as I said, the melee was fun. I learnt a lot about melee in that day, and there is so much to think about in melee.
Yep.
Oh yeah. It's all about the banter.
Well, it's all about the banter and all about chatting, but also just the way titles. When I've been playing before, I hadn't really thought about it, and having Louise break down exactly how you should be looking at your titles and what order you're in, I was like, oh my god, there's a whole nother level to this. I've not even begun to scratch it, is there?
Well, UK players, there is going to be a melee event at Excelsior Games in Bristol on the Sunday, the 25th of June. So if you want to get your practice in, Ben, come up to Bristol.
That's I like the plug there.
Q2 kit, get some nice sweet Tyrell tag. Tyrell tag.
I've already got.
God, Tyrell swag, Jesus.
I've already got 3 brands. I'm good.
Yeah, but have you got the tokens though? The generic tokens.
I'm giving up on those tokens because they're so good. Having got 15 barrel ones, I don't know if I'll bother again.
They are quite nice. I wasn't sold on them to start with, but
the barrel ones are nice, even if 3 of them are misprinted. That I got. The Tyrell ones are alright. I really have some nice power takers though. But I do love. I should be mentioned here that Joe gave up his chance of winning the melee because he had to go and catch a train.
Yeah, that was rather annoying. That because of the times and the table constantly going over time every round. That
if you were committed, Joe, you would have got a different train.
You would have.
That's not how it works in Virgin Train, sadly.
I would say that was it Florian having already won 3 rounds going into the final. He was going to be pretty hard to catch.
It was stacked unless we all basically shit on him for the game.
Weren't you all trying to shit on him to start with?
I was very much calling him out on his table talk because I know very much what he was trying to do and was constantly having to go don't just not hit him. At least make him use his Randall once or twice before.
I did have, was it Whammer though, who didn't get a playmat in the end, and every single one of his tables he came up with a way that the person who was winning would lose, and someone would always go, nah, it's alright mate, I'm happy with coming second, do your challenges against me.
Yeah, that's sadly how the game ended for me in the final. Is I was like, I can come second, I need to go, okay, let's just make Florian win.
But yeah, I really want to play some more melee now because I kind of thought I understood deck building for it, and there's a few houses I think I want to do. I would do very differently now, and I've got some deck ideas. Just don't play it enough, which is the issue.
That deck I took off from online was really fun. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, even though it was clearly winning. It was like a winning deck, and I was like, this looks like nonsense, but I'll try it, and just had loads of fun with it.
I do have to put him up. My first plan was win we'd try and win a round because you guarantee to play him out at that point.
Yeah.
Then after that, it was just have some fun. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was. I mean, shame that more people didn't hang around for the melee because 20 people, almost participation playmat, almost. But yeah, okay, guys. Well, Euros overall, I'm assuming everyone's giving it a big thumbs up. Yeah? No?
Yeah. It was good.
The only thing I'd say is meaningful. I hardly saw any of the convention.
Oh yeah.
At all, and I think that's partly because I was recording, so I could have gone when the cut was on. But I thought, sod it, let's actually just sit around and hang around the cut. And it also saved me a lot of money because the guys I went up with, they all spent a lot of money on the Saturday.
Yeah, I got to run around in the middle of a round, and it was basically just like a supermarket sweep, quick shopping trip.
I think I went and bought one of those pop vinyl Arias as a little mascot for the table.
Yeah, I only got to look. I think I looked on the Friday. But when we went on the Saturday, I think when we finally got a chance, let's have a quick look, and then it was already closing down, I think.
Typical. Oh yeah, because you did the Star Wars as well, so your Saturday was full.
Yeah, it was quite busy.
Right. Okay then. So Euros, great. no matter what people say. Quickly then, should we just hit up? Obviously, we've had a chapter pack released. Any cards worth talking about in the Fall of Astapor?
Nah, it's kind of shit.
Nah, okay. I hear this card Grey Worm's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. I would say my favourite card from the whole pack, and the card I'm actually looking forward to using the most, is the new Theon.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good.
He's pretty awesome in crossing as long as you're not against Targ.
It's an interesting pack. Like, I don't know how to build with Grey Worm properly yet, because every time I go to put him in, I'm like, I don't want to throw that many 6 costers in my deck now against Jewel, as I don't have an answer for it.
What do you drop for him? What do you drop for him though? That's the other thing.
The Miri in my list.
The Miri.
But that was it for the moment.
I was trying to help Dave with it, and he had the the 5 cost 10 strength army.
Right, yeah.
And I told him just drop those. That's probably all right, but yeah, it's Jewel's an interesting slot. It's Jewel. I mean, Jewel's probably going to be quite common for about a month or so, isn't it? At least.
It's gonna, because of the fact Martel have got their econ at the same time. I think it's gonna spawn a lot of low cost Martel decks. That's all I've been seeing on I'm Throne.
So the Dornish Fiefdoms, I think, is that the best econ card we've seen so far? Out of the 2 nil for 2 or 1 gold ones?
I'd say maybe, only because you got the most control over it. Like, I don't know what other people think.
You can just run quite a high initiative curve and probably get the most of it.
Yeah.
Ryan?
The Martel location?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the most reliable to trigger, isn't it?
Or is
full control over it.
Or is the Night's Watch one, do you reckon, a little better?
Well, the Night's Watch one's not really under your control. I mean, it should trigger every round, but everyone's only playing plots of decent economy. But
oh no, it would trigger every round against my current Stark deck.
The thing I'm noticing is, like, at least in testing, because everyone's playing Martel, everyone's running the lower gold high plots. Yeah. And then because they're now running 3 of these, like, they just always seem to never have gold, or never have more than 4 gold by default.
So, yeah, because they're finding that I'm not seeing like many Rose Roads now. It's like King's Road, this, and the Great Halls.
Yeah,
that's what I've been facing. Quick, interesting card, Fever Dreams. I tried that out today. That card is freaking amazing.
Yeah, I got to test it today. I only put 1 gold on it because that's all I had. But the biggest problem I had was trying to get it back to hand on my usage of it.
I put 2 gold on it, and I only triggered it once because then I won the game. But it seems pretty good. It's the fact it's not a terminal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I was tempted. I might be really stupid, and obviously it's not unique. I was tempted to put whack weapons at the door into the deck.
Yeah, I think I've considered that as well.
Even if then you just kind of go right, pay 1 gold, whack it out for 1 turn, then bring it back next turn, and then play it out again. But I don't know. That seems a lot just for Fever Dreams.
Yeah, I don't know what the correct number of gold to put on it is really, unless there's like a really obvious target like Randall. Go out and put as much gold as I can on it. That's probably getting me a ton of cards. But like early game, like, do you throw it out for 2 gold, get 2 cards, hope you can get it back? Do you put it on like reducers or chud? Like, just the little bits of that. That
could be quite a good melee deal. Right, I've got this card. I'm gonna put this attachment on Randall. If I keep attacking you, you give renown. Do you give me card draw? All right? Yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, I can see that. I'm having the same problem. I'm trying out the Orphans at the moment. Is it Orphans? The Martel one. Yeah. I'm trying to work out how much gold to put on them. Is actually really hard. How many times are you going to trigger this a turn?
what you need is 2 orphans. You need one to bounce other things out, then the other one to bounce your orphan back.
Yes, I had considered that. It just trying to see 2 orphans at the same time just wasn't quite happening. The other one, the Fried Lordling. I know we're still waiting for this Fried tech, but I still reckon he's actually pretty good at the moment, even if you put 3 of him in to a crossing deck. I don't think you need a Fried tech to make him good.
He's nice in a he's nice in the crossing deck. With this set, I'm currently playing around in Thrones DB at the moment. At the moment, it's currently sat as a Lanny crossing deck, but using a mixture of wildlings and Frey.
Okay.
So if you think Cersei, 2 claim plot, twins, King Beyond the Wall, that's 5 claim.
Yep, that is a thing.
Going
trial by combat.
Yeah, trial by combat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then you can just go batshit and chuck in some relentless assaults in there. Just keep it all up. It's probably going to be utter garbage, but in my head it sounds filthy. Which probably means it's going to be utter garbage.
When that works, it will really work.
It'll be next pack.
It's one of those janky decks that you just want to play it just so you can see the look on your opponent's face and you go, cool, that's 5 claim military.
Yeah.
Then you find out the knob's playing Martell's got vengeance.
I was about to say, I was wondering if you could run out of Tyrell and do the There's My Claim.
What is it 4 Tyrell characters?
It is. No one ever triggers that. It's a bad plot. Event.
I've seen it played once. I always forget exactly what it does.
You reveal 4 characters and increase the claim by 1?
4 Tyrell characters.
Yeah.
It's the key, one more important part.
You're probably better off playing out of Stark and just playing Winter's Coming.
Yes.
Yeah, and Astapor, that's not going to affect the meta at all, is it?
Again, I'm waiting for someone to use all these. A lot of these burn things I never feel immediately sold on because they all require your opponent to walk into it. Is that I wasn't immediately sold on the Dragon is No Slave. I got to use it. I think the first proper tournament I did was at Euros using it, and I'd only ever get 1 kill off with it.
Yeah, but I think with Astapor as well, you've got the threat there. At the moment, Targ are flush with gold.
Yeah.
The amount of times I looked at a board and I seen a Targ player flip counting coppers and they've got a stack of 8-9 gold. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, rewatching all the videos doing the editing, you with the Targ, it is ridiculous how much gold they can have.
It's just the funny thing I find with it though is obviously I reckon there'll be decks that run Lay Siege, maybe one in some decks if they've got the spot. But the Stark decks that are already appearing, all they've got to do now is just put in the Frozen Solid because it's 1 cost.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how much gold you put on it if it's frozen.
The other one, if Greyjoy wasn't so bad against Targ, you would just think the Greyjoy banner just to take free Lordsport shipwrights.
Yeah, them as well. The stone means nothing. It might feel like a 5 gold location.
I wonder if we'll start seeing political disaster now.
I think we have started.
It's going to be one of those meta calls, but some of the board states I've seen with locations and whatnot.
Yeah, especially when you look at Whammers.
I've been considering it, and I have had it used against me.
I think again, it's better out of Reigns because then you can flip out of it.
Yeah.
But which means that obviously Lanny or probably Tyrell are really the main 2 Reigns. Oh, actually, sorry, tell a lie. Lanny, Tyrell, and when I finished with it, Targaryen Reigns. They're the main ones at the moment. Yeah.
Ben, I built that today.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm going to play it tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll let you know how it goes.
It's a thing. I'm telling you, it's a thing.
It's not a thing, Ben.
It's a thing. It's going to be a thing.
A bad thing, yes.
No, I'm almost disappointed. I'm almost disappointed you've made it, Ryan, because I wanted to be the Davey deck, but I'll hype on about it.
Mm-hmm.
Although saying that, I'm now kind of on this Night's Watch reigns. That seems like fun.
Like going back to political disaster, I
Yes.
think basically the moment that it becomes apparent in the mail is when everyone then starts duping all of their locations again. Like that brief period we had with Greyjoy and
Right.
Banner of the Kraken came up quite prominently.
Yeah.
We just go. It just goes through ups and downs of, all right, let's deal with this. Okay, that's gone now. Let's go back to playing a bit more loose.
Well, you're always going to have times where you have good meta calls for various things. Like, I mean, the amount of times people said at the weekend that Tyrell Crossing isn't quite as good as everyone thinks it is. It's only because a few people made a really good meta call going into Patella that it became so popular. Which you can agree or disagree with. I disagree with a little bit, but
That's usually the way with most
it is.
most decks. Someone makes a good meta call, it does really well, and everyone jumps on the bandwagon.
Well, I say you just look at this weekend, and Stark's come back. There's loads of Stark players now because all of a sudden you're like, well, hang on a second, Targ's really popular. What's good against Targ? Oh,
And again, that came from Dockside.
it's just one of those things. It's just that's current meta. You need to be able to beat Targ.
Yeah, first no winner is quite prominent again now in Lanny decks. I think that had fizzled out.
Yeah, yes. I think First Snow needs to probably make a comeback, doesn't it?
Well, it already has. I think like most people's calls were, how do we beat Targ? And that's why most decks now run. I mean, Tyrell attributed to it a bit, but I think Targ sealed it. Is that most decks now have Two Hands Judgment in because you need to cancel either Superior Claim or Dracarys, which you can. And everyone's like trying to deal with the dragons as much as you can. It's everything's sort of teching in a certain direction, and I reckon it'll be about a month, then we'll start shifting away. Like everyone will keep an eye on Targ, but Stark, I think, are going to be the one that now comes back to the front of the pack, just from like stopping everyone else's like tricks, much like last year.
We're getting around in full circle, yay!
It always goes around full circle. Like Targ were good, then they got knocked out by First Snow Lanny, then First Snow Lanny disappeared, now it's back, and it's locking out Targ again, along with Stark. Then Reigns is probably going to struggle with a proper Stark resurgence.
Yeah. And obviously Barra's disappeared because Targ's become popular.
I think Barra's going to appear again. I think Spears of the Merlin King is a very strong card with most of the stuff that came out in that pack.
I also think Barra will come back again, but it'll be the dominance Barra. I don't think the Neil Barra can cope anymore because there's too many. I think there's now too many stand effects, especially in the popular decks. You're trying to get a pardon me. You're trying to get a full like lockdown on Stark and Targaryen is just too hard. Whereas you can do it on Lanny to some extent. You can do it on can't even really do it at Tyrell because they've got quite a few stand effects, mainly Randall, but he's kind of the main one you need.
Just run Banner Wolf and run Milk and Frozen Solid.
No.
Barra deck.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
That stops all the stand.
Yeah.
But it's I think we definitely say it's kind of you needing to adapt the decks. It's like we were saying, like Martell, people need to start. People had to go away from the icon control because Night's Watch was doing too well, and the icon control didn't work against that.
Yeah, like Martell are going to be prominent now. I think you need to take into account again the icon attachments and duel. I'm curious to see how Stark handles duel. Like a lot of the sort of decks, which if they run all of the 6-cost guys, how do they take that hit?
I say it doesn't hit my deck too bad because I've only got 7 cards that are 6 cost. I have no 7 costers, and that is only 3 characters. I mean, yeah, it's annoying and it's something I'll be aware of, but it's not like it's not crippling for me, which is nice.
The Lanny deck I built is just still doing Lanny stuff, but just like what most people are doing already. Put 3 Eries in. So if you ever expect a duel to come out, just hit the Eerie on the 6 cost, then all you've taken is a nil.
Yeah. And yeah, that's definitely a thing. And also, I think with the Lanny build, you kind of go, I've got 4 or 5 characters to be affected by this.
Yep.
So I don't mind losing one of them.
How's duel worded? Is it they have to do the kneel first, then the kill?
You choose 2 characters. The kneel is the choice. The kill is just the other effect. So Eerie works on it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, because you're not choosing to kill that guy. It's just you're choosing to kneel the other chap.
Yep.
Cool. But yeah, it's I mean, it's great. I love how much the meta is mixing up at the moment. All these packs are really doing things to not do the same old.
I think I would have been quite interested to see, say, if Euros was at the time when Nationals was, because now we've got regional season to see what would come up. If we'd had this whole regional season to test and see what decks were actually at the forefront in our meta.
Yeah, I think that is fair, because it is. We are definitely at a point where it's just. Yeah, we've had the big tournament now. We kind of, got the lesser one, so to speak. Although, I do love regional season because regional season's competitive enough. You see some really good decks, but it's also not as competitive. So you do see some of the more random decks still doing quite well.
There's enough of them that you can test things.
Yeah,
it does. It's not the end of everything if you lose.
Yeah. Because there's always this because there's so many. God, it's so going to be so full the next few, so busy the next few weeks or months. But yeah, no, it's good. I think regional season is my favourite time of year for Crohn's.
Yeah, much more excited for this regional season than I was last year. Got 4 planned. 4. I think.
No, that's good. No, I'm doing 3, I believe.
You skipping War Ball, I guess.
I am, yeah. Basically, I'm not doing War Ball, doing Bristol because it's run by the best organiser in the country.
You damn Skippy. There's talk that some of the Dutch meta might come across.
Oh, cool.
International regional.
Obviously doing doing Northampton and doing Aldershot because it's my closest one.
Yeah, War Ball is very close for me. Obviously, I think the choice to do the 2-day regional, I think, is a bit of a downside to it. I think it might put some people off, but I'm not too sure.
I don't know. Those day 2 house cards are sweet.
Oh, the day 2 stuff is really nice. I'm quite annoyed the melee gets 1 playmat, doesn't it?
I think it's 1 playmat, 4 sets of house cards, and the melee's going on at the same time as the cut, so you don't get to do both.
Now, it's cool, but I'm still not. 2 days it's a lot to get with for passes for some people. That's the only thing that puts me off of it.
Yeah.
But
most people didn't opt for it because of that. I think.
To be fair, most of us didn't opt for the regional because we didn't actually know what this extra price support was going to be or what was expected. Right, They just blindly told us to go in.
And that's one of those things. Again, it's all quite late on that one, isn't it?
It's easy for big stores to do it, but when you're having to rent somewhere out, it would have doubled my cost and it wouldn't have actually made it feasible to actually run it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your base, did it cost more for that kit?
It cost extra, I think.
Right.
It doesn't just come in the kit. You get it anyway. Because I thought that's what someone might have said.
From what I've understood, is you have to have applied for the extra kit.
Yeah, right. It's a completely separate kit. There's only 4 in the UK. I think they only ordered 4.
Right. Okay. And only one shop's actually doing it.
Yes.
Okay.
And and they decided quite late that they were doing it.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, I would say it is what it is. It's just, it's nice they're doing these things. It's nice experimenting, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else they can come up with kits wise. The price support's been pretty good recently.
It's
getting better, I think.
It's been okay. I think at the higher levels, Euros was good.
Bar the tokens.
Nationals is about the same level as last year. We've got a nice play mat. Then there's some kind of questionable prizes with the rest of it.
So from looks for US Nationals, they got 3 copies of Jamie. Do we get 3 copies of Jamie, or is it just 1?
They probably got 3 copies of Jamie because only about 20 people turned up.
Right, I did wonder if that was the case, because that's the only thing I don't get with doing a character for Nationals. Unless you can give a full playset, what's the point?
Oh, there's a lot of questions on that. Like, why have they changed Brian to be the top 2 prize as well? Why are they making the things you want multiple of, like an exclusive?
And why can't they do good plot cards?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Summons to Court is a cornerstone of my. I can almost. Yeah, that is a good point. Why can't they do good plots?
Yeah. Jamie is probably one of the first promos, or in like maybe the last years, because I'd say Danny was the last regular one we had. That everyone was using.
Oh no!
I think at that point he'd fallen out, sadly.
Yeah, Stannis does. Stannis.
She had Tumblestone Knight was the first one.
Yeah, then Tyrion,
then Danny. I think they've done 2 decent ones. They did Trading and Noble Cause.
Yeah, I think it was all good until we got the court kits. then it went downhill.
Guys, I think you're giving a misservice to the marching orders.
Marching orders is great.
I just commentated on a game where the guy played it twice. I didn't understand why he played it twice because he had an arbor in his hand, but he played it twice.
Good.
That was a very interesting game. I didn't quite understand what either player was doing, but hey.
We've got this nice mismatched regional kit as well, where everything in it is quite nice, but I don't get why it's all together in one kit.
I like the different ones, but the OCD nature of me is like, it's not organised, it's not normal, it's not right.
It's because they're expecting you to play a Greyjoy, Martell, Banner Kraken, Banner. Oh no, that doesn't work because that's a loyal card.
It has to be Tyrell.
They're supposed to play Tyrell, Banner to Martell and Greyjoy. And who doesn't want a Greyjoy playmat when you're playing Tyrell and Martell tokens? Obviously, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
They all look nice.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing we didn't say, obviously, congratulations to Reinhard for winning Euros. We did forget that.
Yes.
I played him in game 8. He was an absolute gentleman. It was an absolute pleasure to play. He did heads and spikes me the first 2 turns in a row and killed two really good characters, which was slightly annoying, but he was an absolute gentleman.
Yeah, and congrats to Dan Williams as well for being the best placed UK player.
Yeah.
There was an awkward silence after that.
Oh no, he did. No, it was really good. I think he was quite surprised talking to him afterwards. He was there, and his. I don't know who. I think Rebecca got his semi-final, and that's his semi-final. George, his opponent, was. He wasn't complaining because of Dan's play, but my God, Dan's draw was godly in that game.
Oh God, that was mental.
Yeah.
I think he saw.
Was it 15 in the top 15 cards?
Yeah.
He had 2 treachery. He had a duped Cersei, double duped Tywin.
No, he had all 3 copies of Tywin. Oh yeah, double duped. Yeah,
double duped.
He had a bodyguard.
He had duped Tyrion with bodyguard.
Duped Hound.
Yeah, duped Hound and 2 treachery in hand. It was insane.
Yeah.
God.
Because that's the thing, because George played Valor or something, thinking, or played something to get rid of the dupes, or I think Dan played Valor, And George was like, great, cool, because by this turn I can Valor. And then immediately went, right, dupe.
But then Karma kind of bent him over in the final and went elbow deep.
Yeah, that was he got shafted in that final.
Sadly, the draw, and I think it was very much after what happened in turn 1, it was clutching at straws and starting to lose it for himself.
Yeah, very much like to see them FFG acknowledge a best of 3.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the semis and above. I mean, you're potentially extending it by another 4 hours at that point.
At the very least, I want to see a final, so we have that capability to do it.
Because it
happened at US Nationals, didn't it? They got to do best of 3 there. So
they shouldn't.
I was a bit surprised by that. Done whatever they want because they allowed all their old arts and they just did whatever they wanted.
They allowed old arts at US Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were quite loose with it.
Interesting.
I know when we've discussed it briefly with Alec before, the best of 3 format, and he was always very much saying FFG will not let that happen. The way Game of Thrones is set up is that it's meant to be a 1-game thing. It's not designed for best of 3.
I like that, and I don't like that. I like that because it is that kind of it's just down to what you do in that one game. It's all you got to put it on the line. But at the same time, when Variance shafts you as badly as Dan got shafted by Variance, I think you see the argument the other way.
Yeah, I think it definitely sort of shows some of the better, makes the better player tend to win in the higher games, because if you're getting shafted twice by your deck, then that's that. Yeah. But you should have an okay chance in at least 2 of the games.
Yeah, no, but and also I've listening to I think it's you, Ryan, who was saying when you're one of your top 3 games at Patala, where your opponent deliberately didn't play some cards because he knew he lost the first game, so that try and keep them surprised for the second game.
Sorry, which
was it? I think you said
match?
I wouldn't say it was against Thomas. He didn't play his Tears of Lease.
No, it was just a one-off. It was just a one-off Tears. I didn't see it until the second game.
Okay.
He wasn't holding it back deliberately.
Okay, I think so. But you do get that in the best of 3. You can, especially if you can potentially try, if you're winning, try not to show some of your plots and other cards to keep it a surprise.
Yeah, it definitely changes how you play. Just that one with Thomas, for example. He in the first game milked my Randall, and I confiscated it next turn, and he flipped Riddle because he knew that I would confiscate to get rid of my bodyguard. So in the second round, instead of doing the milk, so instead of playing confiscate after he played the milk on Randall, I flipped Ghost to Harrenhal, so I got 2 people back from the dead pile.
Wow.
Because I knew he'd Riddle.
Yeah.
So there's that sort of mechanics when you're playing a best of 3 where you can play around, especially with the plots.
Yeah.
Well, that's also a bit like when you practice against one of your meta mates for quite a few games. You get to know their deck inside out, and then you do make different decisions because you just know their deck.
Yeah.
But just quickly, am I right in thinking this new Barra character got spoiled yesterday?
Today.
Yeah, yesterday.
Sir Axel Florin. He seems a bit good.
Let's see.
He's alright.
4 for 4, military power, House Florin trait, yay, knight. Bestow 3. After you win a challenge in which he is participating, discard 1 gold to choose a nilla character without attachments. Now, that's interesting. They really seem to be pushing at the moment this without attachments thing criteria. It's like they really want to push positive attachments.
I think he won't be as good in practice as he reads. I'm sort of looking at it now, and my general thought is that the character you have to actually win with him, which might require you putting more in to do it. Then you have to have the gold on him. Then it has to be a worthwhile character for you to kneel.
Right. Yeah. No. I'm seeing a potential Barra Kraken deck with what's the chops?
Asher.
No. What is it? Sir Davos' wife.
Oh yeah, Maya.
Amaya and just going for a real nil, just an OP nil, just without, well, probably with Melisandre as well, but without needing her.
Yeah, it's still quite a bit of gold to do that.
It is a lot of gold, but we have the gold these days. Maybe not in those two factions, but we're definitely getting there. And what about the event as well?
The event looks very, very cruel in the right matchups. Like that, it's basically lock Mace to Aemon out for the game. If in most scenarios.
Oh yeah, if you keep winning Dom, that's a fair point. You keep winning Dom. Yeah, Aemon just
or
knelt.
Use Visited by Shadows and lock out anyone.
Or choose a proper target who isn't got Visited by Shadows.
We knew that card was good.
It's great. I love it.
God.
Visited by Shadows. Ryan, that's what I love what you bring to this.
So I'm gonna play at regionals, alright? Spoilers from the regional rack.
Visited by Shadows. The Visited by Shadows House Flora Knights.
Yep. I'm bringing that back.
Secret tech. Cool. Okay, guys. Anything else to add before we go on?
Nope.
No. Well, Liam, thank you very much for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
Ryan, can you please thank your internet for holding up?
I will do.
Go give your hamster a high five.
Keep that wheel turning.
But not too hard. Otherwise you might get injured.
Yeah, guys. Obviously, we'll probably be back some point after the Northampton Regional, which, fingers crossed, and with better internet, I will be streaming.
And someone would have won here.
Hopefully. I just wanted to get the play mat first regional so I could relax on the next two.
Oh, I think that's pretty much most of our plans.
Yeah,
it's Northampton. I'm guaranteed third place, so that gets me all my prizes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's all sorts of the. But cool. Oh, just quick, actually. Sorry, I remember. Go back to the US Nationals. Have any of you guys seen the deck that won it?
Yeah, it was posted as far as I'm aware.
So it's a Stark deck with basically no Stark cards.
Do you mean like all of the standard full spanner watch?
Yeah. It's just like they did Stark just for Marriage Pack.
That's what most Night's Watch players have been doing lately. So those loyal cards are good. Okay, I'll make a full spanner deck.
Yeah, you just lose Ravens, really, is it? And the Forest Center. Pretty
much.
I don't know. It's kind of annoying when I'm there going, it's just annoying for me. I'm there on Thrones DB going, oh, cool, let's see what this really good Stark deck's. That's not a Stark deck. That's not a Stark deck. Come back with a proper Stark deck. Like
if it's a banner, it's never a normal Stark deck. It's always going to be very different.
Also, I'm starting the campaign now. The 2007 FFG World Champ deck, 2017, with 714 cards in.
Yeah, I approve of that.
I approve of this because I want to, I don't want to necessarily have to buy the World's Champ deck when they do it.
No, 714 cards.
Yep, 714 cards. Everything's a free of, basically, so you're going to get free of everything. Free Jon Snows, all three different. So, yeah, we need this to win Worlds. So, Ryan?
Is that what I've got to play with now?
Yep.
Yes.
Next 6 months, that list.
Yes. You get 379 characters.
I don't know about that many sleeves. They're in good condition.
I'm looking at it. I like that he's occasionally on the characters I've got multiple copies. He's done like 2-on-1s.
Yeah.
Just have to get everything involved in some way.
Of course, it's like 2 Core Sansa, 1 Walls of the North Sansa. Just so you get all the full bleeds of all of them.
Yep.
But Ryan, if you guarantee you win Worlds of it, I will buy you 800 sleeves for it.
Sweet.
And they won't be bad sleeves either. They'll be Dragon Shield.
I'd take that deal.
You have to win Worlds though. You have to guarantee you win Worlds.
What happens if I don't?
You owe me 800 sleeves. I mean, we just need this because if this does win, having free extra tiers of lists, free extra Hound's Judgment, free extra Nightmares, free extra Butcher the Swords, that's useful.
You do realise FFG will just charge like 200 quid for the damn deck.
I've just sort of realised, because I'm so used to opening these decks and sort of going and do the setups. I'm sat here doing a setup simulator on a 700 card deck. And I'm like, oh, what am I getting on this one?
How do you choose to mulligan
it's
or
not
not?
setting up that bad.
How do you choose whether you mulligan?
I don't know, but I'm actually getting them where it's set up.
Hey guys, if you haven't checked it out, I do recommend going to Frames TV and check it out. Got set up, probably have a heart attack with this one.
I'm going to do that right now.
But cool, guys. Please come. If you have enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe. Also, you can check us out on YouTube or on SoundCloud.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Awesome. I'm looking first on to deck check this deck when it makes Worlds top 16.
Alright, so it's just got me run through got set up.
Yeah. How many cards are actually not on got set up though?
It only mulligans 24% of the time.
What's your percentage on a bad setup?
So poor setups are 6%, great setups are 9%.
Oh, there you go. That sounds good.
Average is 4 cards.
I've run worse.
Yeah. Exactly.
I wonder what would happen if I attempted to put this on Iron Throne. Would it break? Would I be able to play it?
Joe, there's only one word for
There
it.
you go.
Challenge
Ben.
accepted.
Ben,
Oh, well, no.
Your next stream.
No, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe, actually. Maybe.
Do it. Challenge you.
Not the next stream, that's Tile Grains. Because that's the new deck that's going to take over the meta. But cool. But anyway, guys, until next time, it has been emotional.